So, I started uploading the other 2 episodes of this so that I would know whether or not I needed to make the output bigger. Because YouTube has told me before that videos were too small for it. So I actually once recorded a video that I really liked. I completely trashed it because YouTube said the resolution was too small and I didn't have a way to upscale it. So, anyways, in looking for other images to put around the screen for this, I found out that there's Neo Geo versions of Infinity and Memories Off. And this is the thing, you can tell over here just how well a lot of it was done with the Neo Geo version, and it's very simple. I think a lot of the problem with the sprites in this game is that they are so simple a lot of the time that I just don't know how to explain it. They're just very simple and jarring sometimes, how simple some of the sprites in this game are compared to some of the really good CGs that they made. So, I wasn't even reading. We come out of the forest road and arrive at the coastline. A bit to the west, there's a small cove surrounded by a rock wall. To the east is a long white beach with white sand. The small cove is called Princess Beach, while the wide beach is called Moon Beach. First, we were going to try Princess Beach. We first tried going to Princess Beach. It makes the most sense to check there first because it's closer. Just then, what are you doing in a place like this? We suddenly cross paths with them. It seems they were just on their way back to the lodge. Yuka explains that we've already come down this far, so in the end, the four of us decide to leave for the shopping district. Well, considering how deserted that shopping district is, leave for might not be the best way to put it. As we talk, Haruka averts her eyes, looking rather bored. She told us that she wanted to go see the ocean, yet she doesn't seem very satisfied. What did she do out there? I listened to Yuka and Okuhiko's conversation while captivated by Haruka's actions. Her soft hair sways in the sea breeze. The moment we arrive at the top of the bank, we are rewarded with a grand scenery that stretches out as far as the eye can see. The crimson-colored sky starts fading into even darker colors. We're walking by a long crescent-shaped beach. Its sands as smooth as velvet. There's nobody here except for us. The only sound is the soothing noise of the waves crashing against the shore. The sea breeze gently brushes past my nose. It carries a sweet smell that is rather captivating. So this is Moon Beach. I can't quite hide the awe in my words. Yuka says, well, didn't I tell you that this was a good idea? She says this with pride. That's right. On our way to the shopping district, Yuka suggested that we climb the bank of the east side of the road to see the sight. You were right. I say this sincerely. You're unlikely to see such a beautiful sunset in the city. I haven't felt this moved by such a breathtaking scenery in a long time. The distance from the top of the embankment to the sandy bottom is about 2/3 my height. Despite the height, Yuka gets easily down onto the beach. Okuhiko and I go after her. Then at that moment, flash of light. I hear a loud thud from behind me, causing me to turn around. On the sandy beach is Haruka, who has hit the ground. It seems that she messed up her landing and fell. She looks confused. She might not understand what just happened. I walk over to Haruka's side, grab her hand, and then help her up. Are you alright? As if nothing had happened, she gives me a curt nod in reply. However, it's clear that Haruka is definitely embarrassed. She's blushing. Oh no, something's happening. Before I know it, I've turned around. I notice that Haruka is the only person still loitering around at the top of the bank. Huh? Wait, didn't I just help her up? So then why is she still standing there? I break into a sweat. My head is racked with confusion from my inability to comprehend the situation. While this is happening, Haruka slowly doubles over. She bends her knees and grips the edge of the embankment. Judging from her stance, I already know what's going to happen. Wait, before I can warn her, she's already in midair. And then Haruka loses her balance and falls flat onto the beach. A cloud of dust soundlessly stirs up into the empty sky. This scene definitely happened a few seconds ago. Haruka looks confused. I walk over to her side, grab her hand, and help her up. Are you alright? I can't hide my shock. Although Haruka gives a short nod, it's clear she's just trying to cover up her own embarrassment. I notice that she's blushing. As if trying to cover up her trembling, she quickly gets on her feet, and moves past me. For a little while, I stand frozen in place, dumbfounded. Was that deja vu? No. That is the phenomenon where, after an event occurs, you're under the delusion that you've experienced that event before. But it definitely wasn't like that. I saw Haruka fall before she actually did. I saw myself helping her up before that really happened. Then just what the hell was that? I quickly look up to see the red western skies. They are burning dark red. The waves crash against the shore, bringing with them echoes of the roaring ocean. Wow, to think there'd be a cafe here. Yuka says this on our way to the shopping district. As we talk on a paved road, as we walk on a paved roadside along the coastline. I didn't notice it until she said it, but there is indeed a lone cafe erected by the road. It's a two-story building made of wood with a blue triangular roof on whitewashed walls. The walls are given a rosy hue by the setting sun shining on it. It's got pretty good taste. Okihiko says this. He's right. Thanks to the fact that it's facing the water, and that you can hear the pleasant sound of the tiny waves washing up on shore, it's very reminiscent of an Italian restaurant overlooking the Adriatic Sea. The sign above the entrance reads Luna Beach in big letters. Luna Beach, huh? The front door has a plate with the word open written. After a little while, we stop talking as we take sight of the cafe, interweaving itself in the late afternoon sky. Could you be? Huh. I search for the owner of that voice. It sounds familiar. It came from the back of the cafe. I see a girl standing there with a broom in her hands. She's staring right at us. This girl is... The girl places the broom against the wall and runs over to us. You're the people who ordered the seafood pizza, right? She's still the delivery girl who gave us the pizza for lunch. As Okihiko finally recognizes her, a crooked grin slowly emerges on his face. That doesn't look like a grin, Makoto. Doesn't look like a grin. She looks a bit pale. Just look at that is like the face of someone that is going to murder you. She's gonna kill that girl. I swear. That face. There's no misinterpreting that face. Haruka. When I call her name, Haruka's glance turns towards me. What? Her eyes are pleading for me to do something, but I don't know what to do. Hey, since we're just standing here talking, why don't we take a little rest here? Yuka throws a proposition out before I can speak. Everybody's attention immediately turns to her. You're right. I'm a little tired from all that walking here. Let's do that. Do it. This gives Yuka's idea 2 votes of approval. Makoto, what about you? Me? I don't mind. I'm too worried about Haruka right now to actually care much. Haruka, are you also okay with this? Yuka asks Haruka this last, and naturally she thinks she'll agree. I'll pass. I'll go back. Why? Yuka's bewildered by that unexpected reply. What's wrong, Haruka? Are you not feeling well? Haruka shakes her head. Then why? Haruka is silent. Scared by all these little noises I'm seeing pop up on the mic. Oh well. I'll have to figure this out as Oni-chan, we have customers. Huh. Oni-chan. What's this? It's rare for Kurumi to attract customers. The woman behind the counter gives us a welcoming smile. She looks like she's in her early 20s. Her short hair and apron suit her well. She gives me the impression of having a rather motherly aura. You said Oni-chan, so does that mean you two are sisters? Oni-chan and Kurumi are true blood-related sisters. A girl called Kurumi sticks out her chest and giggles. I don't know if that's really something to be proud about. Huh. Haruka. Is it my imagination? I thought I saw Haruka give the woman behind the counter a terribly flustered look. She's silently staring out the window at the scenery. Her face is expressionless. She is like a soulless doll. So it really was just my imagination after all. This is your sister's shop. The sister is your shop's manager. Does that mean you two own this place? No, that's not it. I'm just working here part-time, and Kurumi is working as my assistant. The woman behind the counter answers Yuka's question before she finishes. I'm sorry, where are my manners? My name is Izumi Morina. I'm a part-time worker for this shop. This is Kurumi. She's my little sister, and she sometimes helps me with the shop. Come on, Kurumi. Go ahead and properly say hello. The woman named Izumi urges the girl to introduce herself. Right now, Kurumi is on school break. She came here to have fun with Oni-chan. When the shop gets busy, Kurumi helps out with various things. Today we had a party of tourists come in for lunch. Without Kurumi, we really would have had a lot of trouble with them. Kurumi is singing her own praises. Kurumi-chan, you're... Yuka pats Kurumi's head and rustles through her hair. Yep, after all, Kurumi's all grown up. She says that, yet she looks quite the opposite, since she enjoys having her head petted. Spoil a child too much, and she'll grow up spoiled. That's my outside opinion. Izumi Morino and Kurumi Morino. The Morino sisters, huh? Huh. Morino. The surname Morino triggers something within me. Where have I heard it before? Is it just my imagination? Before long, Izumi-san explains to us the shop manager is absent because he's in Italy shopping for tableware. So for now, Izumi is managing it all by herself. The owner apparently often leaves the store unsupervised for trips like this. I guess you could say I'm just the manager's substitute. Izumi-san says this with a sweet smile. That gentle grin and her older woman charm causes my heart to start pounding. I try to distract myself by surveying the shop. The interior and exterior look like they were inspired by an Italian restaurant. The seats by the counter and tables, as well as the fixtures placed here and there, go well with the store's atmosphere. Against the wall is an old-fashioned jukebox, where an old jazz hit from several decades ago is playing. The store's interior is rather relaxing. From the window facing the sea, you can see the coast of Moon Beach, giving the narrow shop's interior a sense of depth and openness. There's a door in the back which seems to lead to an open terrace outside. However, The restaurant's counter gives me the impression that the place could easily be mistaken for a bar.
夜になるとこの店はレストランを兼ねたバーになるのよ。
When it's nighttime, the shop is both a restaurant and a bar. Oof. I don't know if I like that. Should probably set things down over here instead. It's pretty loud. That's probably what it is. It's probably my mouse moving a little bit, causing all the noise. Izumi-san explains this when she notices me observing the shop's layout. Whoa, am I that easy to read? Is that so? Wow. I give a vague nod, averting my eyes. I fear that if I looked into Izumi-san's face right now, she'll read my mind. This time I decide to face Kurumi. By the way, Kurumi-chan, what grade are you in right now? When I look over, I see Okuhiko talking to Kurumi. Kurumi's a third year. I see, a third year in middle school, huh? You'll be taking your high school entrance exam soon. That'll be tough. You're wrong. Kurumi's not in middle school. She's a third year in high school. Kodo says, huh? My face twists in shock. Okuhiko is also gasping in surprise. When she delivered the pizza, we were both under the impression that she was in middle school. Kurumi is 17 years old after all. That's what I was talking about. Like, this face, like, this is a very simple face, and it works for the emotions and stuff, but it's, like, very jarring to go from, like, some of the faces, like, something like this to something like this. Her cheeks puff out in protest. Does she have some sort of complex about her childish appearance? Though, she is rather baby-faced. What about all of you? From the looks of it, you're all college students, right? Izumi-san asks us this as she observes this, all with a smile. Right. We should also introduce ourselves. Yuka clears her throat with a small cough before promptly doing so. She tells Izumi about how we'll all be juniors in college, that we're all members of the same seminar, that we're currently staying at a nearby lodge for a seminar camp. She explains everything. Afterwards, we both give our names. See, we went from just a line to this. It's like jarring. It's jarring. Very jarring. So, Yuka-chan and Makoto-kun. Huh. Alright, I don't know. Kurumi will remember that too. And this girl is... silent. Haruka. She silently continues to stare at the scenery out the window. Haruka Higuchi. Another member of our group. She's a year younger than us, but she skipped a grade. So she's in our grade, right, Haruka? Well, she may seem like she's extremely shy, especially around strangers, but even though she doesn't look like she's very social, she's a nice person deep down. Yuka's desperately trying to support Haruka. However, the girl herself shows no signs of entertaining Yuka's whims. Yes, you're right. I understand. Izumi-san smiles, undaunted by Haruka's behavior. It's hard to tell if she really does understand. Nice to meet you, Haruka-san. Kurumi holds out her hands, awaiting a handshake from Haruka. Haruka glances at Kurumi, but turns back towards the window again.
はるか
Haruka. Despite Yuka's urgings, Haruka doesn't even twitch. Kurumi uneasily pulls back her outstretched hand and scratches her head. Despite Haruka's rudeness, a gentle smile rises on Izumi-san's face as she looks towards her. The atmosphere is quiet, quite reading as the text is formed, so if I mess it up, it's bad. The atmosphere is quite the awkward one. But I am... He loudly draws attention to himself in an attempt to wipe out the heavy atmosphere. His sudden burst causes all of us, except for Haruka, to turn their attention towards him. Just because he feels left out doesn't mean he has to be an attention whore about it.
いつも爽やか好青年、生きでいなせで涙や脆い地球の平和を守るため神が送った正義の戦士、その名も飯田奥彦だ。
Uh-oh. Kurumi and Izumi-san tilt their heads in confusion and stare at Okihiko, who splurts this out. He was so impatient to talk that he had just spontaneously shouted all this nonsense. After hearing such a ridiculous introduction, Izumi-san is desperately trying to keep herself from laughing. However, for some reason, Okihiko's words have left Kurumi dumbfounded. Ida? I'm taken aback by Kurumi's words. Okihiko, when you accepted the pizza, you introduced yourself as Asakura. He seems to realize this too, and his body stiffens. I'm shocked and speechless. Earlier you said your name was Asakura. No, He looks at me and I turn my head away to ignore him. It was his plan. Why should I have to help him? At that moment, the door is violently thrown open. We all turn around in surprise. Standing there is a girl with her hair tied up in a ponytail. My name is Asakura. Is the manager here. The girl scans all of us. Even though she's not really that tall, I feel like I'm being looked down upon. Yes, that would be me. Izumi-san answers with a vacant expression. It's as if she's not intimidated by this rich-looking girl. She's really something. What's the meaning of this? She suddenly shouts. We're all frozen in place. Perhaps she's realized how uneasy we are, but the girl takes in a deep breath. She seems to have calmed down a bit. Excuse me, my name is Saki Asakura. I'm from the Asakura summer house. So her name is Saki. A summer home, huh? She doesn't just look wealthy, she is wealthy. So that's it. Thank you for your continued patronage. It's not like I always use this place. Where's the pizza I ordered? What are you talking about? My pizza. How many hours do you want me to wait for it? How many hours have you been waiting for it? 6 hours. 6 goddamn hours. What kind of shop are you running here? You waited that long. Seems there's people out here with quite the free time on their hands. I wasn't talking to you two. I wasn't talking to you either. And I was talking to myself. Don't talk until I say so. Got it. Huh. Saki gives me a dirty look. In response to that intense glare, I talk back to her right away. What's the big deal anyways?
なんですって
What was that? I'm just saying, I'm sorry about your pizza, but if you were this angry, you should have just called earlier. A completely sound argument. Saki falters, but only briefly. Soon enough, she gets even more pissed.
何よ
What the
何
hell?
も知らないくせして
You don't even know anything.
これだからそやな連中とは話が
This
し
is
たく
why I
ない
don't
の
want to talk to you assholes.
いいさっきも言ったけどあなた
That's
と議論
enough.
する気
I
はな
said
いの
this earlier, but I'm not in
今
the
用
mood to
があ
argue
るのは
with
この
you.
店の責任者だけよ
My business is with that manager. Whatever I say is probably useless. Time to put an end to this pointless debate. Yeah, I get you, but, you know... You shouldn't be so rude. You shouldn't be so rude, shouting like that towards strangers. There. I won't give into any sort of upper class repression. And besides, those were my honest feelings. If she just shuts up, then she might even pass as a refined young lady. Whether she's regained some of her composure or not, she seems to have decided any further argument is pointless. She settles on giving me the one last angry glare before moving towards the counter. Giving me a brief glance, Yuka takes a deep breath and stares at Saki. She looks surprised. I hear Okuhiko snort as if to say, Saki doesn't seem very pleased by my words. Naturally, Haruka has been looking downwards this whole time. Just what is going on? Saki immediately I love this. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I need to hold on to this frame for just a little bit. I gotta hold on to it for just long enough so that way when it processes, like this frame will just stay there so long that the algorithm will say, hey, you know what, this would make a good thumbnail. I might actually go into the menu after this and download the CG itself so I can put it on as the thumbnail for this episode. Anyways. Oops. It looks like she's going to continue nagging Izumi-san.
で6時間も何
So what
し
did
て
you
た
do
の
for
か
those
し
6
ら
hours?
待ってましたよ
I waited, of course.
6時間も
For 6 straight hours.
まさか
Hell no.
私だってそんな
Even
暇
I
じゃあ
don't
り
have
ま
that
せん
kind of time. Izumi-san is trying to be polite, but her tone is listless. Anyway, her words only seem to fuel Saki's irritation.
私だって
Even I,
それは言ったわよええ
told
あ
it
るものだけで
that,
我慢ねって言ったわよ
yes, I told it to make do with just what was there.
けど私がピザ
But
頼ん
it
だの
fully
ちゃんと
knew
分かって
I
るの
ordered
よ
pizza,
言葉が通じなくて
even though it can't understand what I say.
うん
Yes, yes. What is she talking about? However, Izumi-san just nods at everything she says.
仕方ないからそのまま遊んであげてたの
I
よ
didn't have any other choice but to play around and wait.
なるほど
See? I don't understand. Does Izumi-san really get it? Just then Kurumi approaches her sister.
お姉ちゃん話わかってる
You understand what she's saying? She whispers back to Kurumi.
いいのいいの
It's fine, it's fine.
こういう時は
In
あれなん
times
だ
like
から
this, all you have to do is that.
何の
Huh?
話
What do you mean?
仕方ないからこ
It
のまま
can't
聞
be
いと
helped,
いてあげ
so
るの
let's hear her out for now.
こういうタイプは喋りたいだけ
These types
喋る
just
が
wanna
入
talk.
るんだから
Then they want to go back
それまで
home.
我慢
Until then, just endure it, okay? I see. It's quite an impressive way to handle it.
どうして我慢なんかしなくちゃいけ
Why
ない
do
の
we have to put up with it?
だって
because there was a mistake in her delivery. So,
くるみちゃんと届
Kurumi
けた
delivered
よ
it. No, no,
大
no.
声出さない
Don't shut.
の。くるみが
Didn't
間違
make
えて
a
なきゃ
mistake.
なんでこうな
Then
る
why
の？
did it end up like
ひ
this?
どい。お姉ちゃんくるみのこと疑ってたの？
You're terrible. You're doubting Kurumi.
けど届いてないって言うんだから。
But she said her pizza never arrived.
届けた。
It did too. Kurumi delivered it to an Asakura-san. Suddenly, I realized what's going on. It was the pizza from lunch. Kurumi had said she was bringing it to an Asakura-san. And then Okuhiko, I look at Okuhiko. The guy looks antsy. He must understand what's going on as well. At that moment, Saki strikes the counter.
私がいいって言うまで話さないで。
Don't talk till I say so.
くるみ絶対朝倉さん
Kurumi
に
did
届けたの。
deliver it to Asakura-san. She points at Okuhiko. Okuhiko instantly turns his head away as if to say, oh crap.
ちょっとどういうことなのよそ
What
れ。
does that mean? Saki glares at Okuhiko and Okuhiko abruptly stops in his tracks. It seems like he was trying to run away. I'm not gonna cover for him. He's the one who caused this whole mess. No, everything may have started with Yuka's cooking. Saki immediately closes in on Okuhiko when suddenly Yuka speaks up.
さっき
Saki, could it be that you're that Saki Asakura?
ほら中学の頃一緒だった。
We were friends in middle school.
なんだ
How
っ
can I
け。
prove it?
何かの行事の時、
We were the
Hold on.
ones who
Just
drew the
singing
rough
my
sketches
whole
of the magician's
song.
portrait.
ゆうか？
Yuka?
やっぱりさっき。
It
久しぶ
really
り。
is you.
何年ぶりだっけ。
How many? It's been so long. Just how many years has it been?
私が慶大の高等部に入ってからだから。
I haven't seen you for 5 years
5年ぶりね。
since I entered K University's senior high school.
懐かしい。
This is
ど
so
うしてる
nostalgic.
の？やっぱり慶大行ってるん
What's
で
up
し
with
ょ？
you? You really did go to K University?
もちろんよ。
Of course.
Yuka
But
こそ
Yuka,
こん
what
な
are you
島に
doing
どう
in
し
this
て？
island? You
まさ
don't
か
live
住ん
here,
でるわ
do
けじゃ
you?
ん。
まさか大
No,
学
I'm
の
here
出
for my
合
college's
宿。
seminar
あの
camp.
林に囲まれて
I'm staying at the lodge on top of the hill,
ロッジがあって。
surrounded by the forest.
え？じゃあうちの別荘のすぐ近くじゃない。
That means you're near my summer house. Two of them have suddenly become excited. According to Saki, it seems she comes here every year to stay at her aforementioned summer home. She says that she's been here ever since her exams break in February. It seems she's relaxing here until her next semester begins. There's a big difference between us. As I think that, Izumi-san stands in between Yuka and Saki.
それじゃあ今晩食事
Well,
を
then
ご
I'll
ちそう
treat
してあげ
you
ましょ
to
う。
a dinner
二
tonight.
人の再会を祝って
Oh, we're getting fancy dinner tonight. It'll be a celebration for your reunion.
そんな
No
悪
way,
いです
that
よ。
is too much.
ちょっと待って
Wait a second.
私はピザのことをはっきりさせに来たんだけど
I came here to clear up an issue about my pizza.
だからそのお詫びも兼ねてって
And
こ
you
と
can
で
also consider this my apology. Izumi-san gives a sidelong glance to the now dumbfounded Saki, who then looks towards us.
あなたたちも一緒にどう？
Will you with them too? I don't know what to say. I feel awkward about someone we only just met going this far for us. On the other hand, if we return to the lodge, all that awaits us is Yuka's murderous cooking. What should I do? I gaze at the hesitant Haruka. Haruka suddenly averts her eyes. I'll pass is what she's trying to say. If that's the case, then... Just as I begin to think that...
ねえ、食べていきなよ。
Come on and eat! Kurumi interrupts my thoughts as she grabs my arm with both of her hands, tugging at it. She looks like a kid begging for a toy.
せっかくみんなと知り合えたのに。
Even though we've only all
お
just
別れ
met,
しちゃうの
it'll
は
get
寂しい
lonely
よ
if you just leave us now.
いいでしょ？
It's okay, isn't it?
そうよ遠慮
That's
なん
right,
てしな
there's
くて
no
もいい
need
ん
to
だから
reserve yourselves. She's following Kurumi's lead. It's just... Nevertheless, I'm worried about Haruka's behavior from earlier.
それとも
Or is it?
私の作った料
Could
理
it be
が
that you don't want to eat
そういう
my
ことです
cooking? Oh no, 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 no. I would love to eat your cooking over Yuka's cooking. Please. Izumi-san still smiles while saying this, however. Her troubled eyes betray her. These eyes are troubled. These eyes are very troubled. No, I'd be delighted if you would treat us. There's no way I can refuse her.
じゃあそういうことでいいわよね
Then you're alright with it.
なんだかロッジに帰ってから準備するのも面倒だったし嬉しいです
It'd be kind of trouble to go back to the lodge and make preparations, so I'm glad about this.
さっきもいいでしょどうせ帰り道も一緒だし
Hey, you're okay with this too, right, Saki? We'll definitely be walking back home together anyways.
うん そうね
That's true.
ならそうさせても
You
らおうかし
convinced
ら
me.
よし決まり
Alright, it's decided.
ところで泉さん
By the way,
ちなみ
Izumi-san,
にメニュー
what do you
の
have to
方
eat
は
here?
そうね
Let's see. Her face briefly wavers, but then immediately regains its shine.
パエリアとイタリアンサラダ
We have
パンプキンスープもつけちゃおう
paella, Italian salad, and pumpkin soup. Making paella will be impossible, I say. I blurted this out unconsciously.
無理
Impossible. Could it be that you're doubting my abilities? No, no. I would never do that.
なんで無理なの
Why is it impossible? Because you're short on rice, right?
え
Huh? Surprised, Izumi-san checks the rice jar in the corner of the counter.
本当だわ
It's true.
あと
There's
1合
only
ぐらいしか
5 ounces
残ってない
of rice
みたい
left.
お姉ちゃんお昼の団体客
It was that group from lunch. Oh no.
あーそうかそういえば
You're
そう
right.
ね
I was right. I was right.
すっかり忘れちゃってたけどあの時のカレー10人前で
There was a group of 10 that ate curry.
ん
Huh.
でも誠くん
Makoto-kun,
なんでそ
how
んな
did
こと
you
知
know
って
about
るの
that? Because... Huh. Because what? What am I saying? Now that I think about it, how the hell did I know that? No, I just had a feeling that was the case. That's the truth. Honestly, I really did just have a feeling. Besides, there shouldn't be a need to reason anyways.
うーん
Izumi-san tilts her head in confusion. Everyone else is staring at me questioningly.
でもそんなことどうでもいいんじ
But
ゃ
it
ない
doesn't really matter, right? Kurumi's voice draws the others' gazes away from me.
とにかく早く気がついてよかったよ
Anyways, it's a good thing we noticed this so quickly.
作り始めてから気が
If
つ
we
いて
hadn't
る
noticed until we started cooking, it would have been too late, right? Everyone nods in agreement.
それよりも今はお米をどうす
But
る
what
か
should we do about the rice
そっ
now?
ちの方が問題だよ
That's the real question. Here's an idea. What if I go buy some rice? I immediately offered help. I guess it's because I feel the urge to get out of this place. After all, you're the ones who offered to treat us to dinner. So, why don't I at least help you out a little?
でもそんなの悪いわよ
That's asking too much. No, it isn't. It's no problem at all. Izumi-san, there must be preparations and other stuff you have to do. You can take care of all of that before I return.
うーんそう
Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
じゃあ申し訳ないけどお言葉に甘えちゃってもいいかしら
What may I accept your offer? Of course.
それじゃあ私も何かお手伝いしますよ
Well then, I will also help out in any way I can. No, what?
泉さんのアシスタントとして
I'll act as Izumi-san's assistant chef. I'll also cook a good dish or something. Ohiko, Haruka, and I all freeze at those words. You can't do that, Yuka.
どうして？
Why not? Cause you're shopping with me.
ちょっと勝手に決めないでよ、そんなこと。
Don't go deciding stuff on your own. Dude. No, that's not it. What I'm saying is, I really need your help. Huh? To be honest, I know nothing about the different types of rice.
お米の種類なんて何でもいいんじゃないの？
Isn't any kind of rice okay? Of course not. If I did something like going and buying fatty rice, that would be something I couldn't undo. Right, Okuhiko?
ごもっとも。
You're absolutely right. Everyone agrees. Right, Haruka? Yes. Oh, that death stare. That death stare. He's like, yeah, no, please, don't let her cook ever again. We made a vow. We repeated the vow 21 times, Makoto. She cannot be allowed to cook ever again. Ever, ever, forever. See, so that's my reason.
なんかちょっと
Seems
引っ
rather
かかる
unlikely.
けど。
But
まあ、それもそうかもね。
I guess it could happen. Don't you agree? Oh man. Well then, let's hurry up and go now. Without waiting for Yuka's reply, I forcefully push her by the back outside the shop. And with that, I'm gonna stop this one. These are all gonna be an hour long. This is gonna be bad because it's a long game. It's a very long game, I think.